My name is Brian Lee, and I do marketing. Life before I hired Victor was definitely a bit confusing. I definitely didn't know if I needed necessarily like a mindset coach or that there were hidden problems that I needed to solve in order to get that clarity. But definitely life after working with Victor, I've gotten a lot more clarity, and those goals that I set, they were hit pretty fast. Like I'm talking about like maybe 2 sessions, some of the things that were on my mind for a while that I had tried to fix on my own. Yeah, it's just been transformative. Some of the biggest personal wins that I've experienced is definitely like getting rid of all of the things that were kind of distractions that didn't lead me towards what I really wanted to do. So I think uncovering those things for me and then finding that clarity and then finding the path to get there. I think the other thing is also emotional stability, because before I don't think I had a ton of EQ figuring out things. I worked with like therapists and things like that, but it didn't really give me that like straight to the point clarity that I needed. It was always like a bit confusing, like meandering paths, things that would work for a little while but wouldn't really last. So a really big thing for me was having like more permanent change. Yeah. In terms of like personal life, emotions, things like that. In terms of professional life, I would say Victor helped me a lot with understanding like what I truly want in life and dealing with the fears that kind of come up with that, because when you're ambitious and you're like trying to go after things professionally, sometimes it feels like, oh, this is too big, or I don't think I can do that. But Victor definitely helped me see the path and help me plan the path there. So there's a lot of things that are unseen that are outside of my consciousness, things like problems that I didn't really think to deal with that Victor brought up to my awareness, and with a structured plan to deal with those things so that I could wake up feeling like super motivated to do the things that I want to do. The liberation session for me, it was, I've worked with Tony Robbins before, so I figured it was something like that, but it definitely exceeded my expectations for sure. One of the things that Victor told me was that dealing with some of the things like during the liberation session that felt, oh, I don't know if this is real or whatnot. He told me that this thing exists in your mind and this is like real for you, even though you like might see it as imagined. And that helped me connect a lot of dots as I was doing that sort of exercise. Because a lot of times when I was working with Tony Robbins, there was definitely the logic part of me that was like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know if this is the intended thing that I'm supposed to feel. And then there was just a lot of confusion. So with the liberation session, I got clarity throughout the entire path. And I was able to deal with deep rooted emotions that kind of all generally when you talk to like therapists or any sort of mindset coach and you deal with childhood or things like that, it generally takes a lot of time. But with the liberation session, it was definitely really fast, just like the rest of Victor's coaching, really fast results, like faster than you can imagine, really. The coaching has impacted my relationships personally by, I think, just being more grounded and being more like less in my head when I'm talking to people, because I did experience like a level of social anxiety, definitely in like the work that I do, like constantly on a computer all the time, like having to switch out of that. And then also dealing with how exactly to engage with people and form like meaningful relationships. So I think the coaching has impacted me a lot in that field by giving me the tools and then also getting my mind straight on certain things, and also not pleasing people necessarily. I know it's funny to say that, but it's like I do come from a culture where that is like the norm. So it is a lot to say to break out of that norm. So my favorite part of the coaching was that it's like tangible results that you can see. It's not just try this thing for like a whole year and then see if it works. Because I've been through like self-improvement trainings like that where it's like I do this thing like for 6 months and I don't have anything to show for it, or something might stick for a little while and then it just goes away. It's like not permanent. What I loved about this coaching and specifically was the practical approach to it, and also really tailored to my specific situation, not like a cookie cutter type of response. It's Victor has like real, I want to say, like super knowledge. Yeah, he just spends so much time in this field, and definitely beyond anything that I've ever experienced before. And that leads to that permanence that I'm talking about, and then also like super fast from implementation to results time. It's like super short compared to anything else I've ever tried. I definitely had hesitations getting into the coaching with Victor, 100%. It's because I've experienced a lot when it comes to like self-help programs, mindset coaching, therapy, Tony Robbins. I've paid for programs before, and I think I was just a little bit skeptical because of all that experience. I was like, okay, like this is probably going to take a long time to see any sort of results. That definitely caused a lot of hesitations. But what really helped me was that seeing other people get results from it. And then also, I think the major thing was working with Victor on a short-term basis, and then seeing, okay, this stuff can actually be managed and can be handled. Like it's in an industry that where there's a lot of scams going on, it's very easy to think and just say, oh, this is just another thing that's not going to produce results. But I would say that this is different for sure. If you're on the fence, obviously I'm a case study and you don't know me at all. You might not know Victor at all. But what I would say is give it a chance. Victor does these small programs where you can like try out some of his coaching, do some of those, and then try some of the exercises, and then of course decide for yourself. But I would say that definitely keep an open mind and at least try 1 to 3 sessions before you say, okay, let's move on. But definitely, I would say it's just a great opportunity. Just don't let it fly by.